Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Deluxe Class Autobot Hound from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. Really cool box art there on the side as per usual. Liking that. Although I will say it doesn't so much look like the figure. A lot of people have pointed out, especially with the head sculpt, that looks more like Hotshot from Cybertron. That's what it was called here, right? Cybertron. The kind of upgraded version of Hotshot from Cybertron. So we'll see. Possible repaint. Who knows? Could be on the horizon for this figure. Really cool box art here. Always like that. Not too much going on the bottom. Not too much going on the top. Taking a look on the back. Robot mode. Vehicle mode. They show him using the Battle Masters, which of course we will take a look at. So yeah, pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get him out of there and let's take a closer look. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging. Comes with these three accessories. You have kind of this short little gun. You have this much longer gun. And then you have this little ammo clip, I'm guessing, is what this is. I really have no idea what this little thing is. But just checking out some of the detail on it. Whoops, or I can fling it across the room. It's got nice silver paint. A few paint applications there. Also a lot of nice silver paint applications here as well. And then you also have some silver on this gun. So what you can do, you can kind of connect these all together if you want. This is kind of really loose to connect to this though, but if you want, you can kind of connect this to the back. It's a little bit more snug. So you can kind of connect them however you want, but it gives you a lot of options. So you have some nice accessories here. They fit very simply into his fist. So you can just pop it right in there. I like to put one of these. He has two connector ports on the side of his head. So Hound usually has a gun, a shoulder mounted cannon. So I like to put this in here. There we go. Pegs in like that. Still looks pretty cool. This piece, can you put it on back here? I guess, no, not really. I don't know. Just put this off to the side somewhere. Or you could put it on the back of the gun if you don't want to lose it. There you go. So he's cool. I like him a lot. He's definitely got some of the wear and tear paint applications, but he's got it mostly on his shins. And honestly, it kind of just blends in because he's such a dark green. You don't even really notice it that much. So I really don't mind it on this figure. He really doesn't have too much of it. He's got a little bit here in the kind of grill of the Jeep, which becomes his chest. But again, it blends into the black, so you don't notice it that much. So I really don't mind it on him. I feel like he looks pretty good. Love the head sculpt. Nice bright blue eyes, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and take this off so it doesn't cast shadow, but nice head sculpt. Like the silver paint on the face. Nice Autobot symbol here. Then you have the star and some gold trim. Overall, I think the paint applications look really good. Backpack, not too much kibble, which I appreciate. If you really wanted, for some reason, you could store one of the guns on the back until it falls off. Oh, I see what happened. This piece on the back can move. There you go. So you could store that there if you want to pretend it was like a jetpack situation. So you have a lot of options. He definitely has a ton of these ports. He's got one on his shoulder, one on the forearm, and that's on both sides. He's got one on the side of the leg. He's got two by the head that I showed off earlier, one on the back. And then, of course, two on the bottom of his feet. So he's got connector ports, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and take these accessories away for a moment. Put that all off to the side. Articulation-wise, head can go from side to side and up and down a little bit. There is a ball joint in there, but the up and down is not so much. It's mostly the side to side. But you do have this big piece in the back, which unfortunately you can't get rid of. So it hinders it. It makes it a little bit difficult just to kind of get a hold of it. But shoulders out to the side, spin around, bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. You do have a wrist swivel as well. You can see you have a waist swivel. You have out to the side, to the front, to the back, at the hip. You do have a thigh swivel. It's just hidden. It's actually down in here instead of like visible. So this is like a guard. So you don't actually see it, which is kind of nice. I would say over 90 degrees in the knee, slightly. And then you do have an ankle tilt. It's really because of the transformation, but you can kind of do it at different degrees if you want a crazy ankle tilt. So you do have some options there. But yeah, he looks great. great articulation. Do really like those paint applications. It's got a ton of accessory ports. The accessories he comes with are nice. Of course, he can wield any of these Battle Masters or Micromaster weapons, as goofy as they may look. He can wield all of these. So I think that's cool. Very neat. Go ahead and take these guys off. So yeah, I think he's a great action figure. Everything about him so far, I really enjoy. If I had to, is there anything to complain about? I mean, maybe this bar, this kind of flat area being behind the head. I don't mind it aesthetically, just like if I wanted to tilt the head from side to side, it's a little bit difficult, but I mean, that's a super minor nitpick. It's really not a problem whatsoever. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and just say he's pretty perfect as far as action figures go, in my opinion. I really appreciate that even though he has a backpack, it really doesn't get in the way, and I don't even have it pegged in all the way. There we go. So it's nice. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, he looks great. Let's go ahead and get into the transformation. Alright, so first thing you're going to do, unhook the shoulders, just kind of pull them out to the side a little bit. You're going to go to the backpack section and bring this up, and you can see how there are two pegs here and here. They're going to peg into the two peg holes on the side of his head. So just bring those up and push them down so that they're all the way pegged in. Then you can go ahead and rotate this part out if you like. Come around to this chest area, and this whole thing will lift up. Then you're going to bring the arms in, and you kind of want to lift these up so that they'll clear, and bring the arms straight. So bring these in. They will serve kind of a dual function of one, keeping this all the way up so that this is flush, but also storing the hands. Now you're going to want to rotate them out to the outside 90 degrees because you want these gold rectangular peg ports to be facing up. No, I'm sorry. You want them to be facing down. There we go. I did it wrong. There we go. Now we're good. You want them to be facing toward the inside of the body. Come down here, and you're going to see that right here, this actually can unpeg, and then this whole area is going to flip out like that. So you'll do that on both sides. Come around to the back, and you can actually lift this part up a little bit if you want, just to make it easier. Because this part is, I don't want to say it's like hard, but it's just a little tricky. You have to spin this around. You kind of want to angle these out to the side a little bit, just so that there's clearance. And then you have to like get this part down, but also underneath this black part. So it's not impossible. You just something you want to be a little careful with, because it, not like I said, it's not like it's daunting, but it's just you want to make sure everything clears. And then you can peg these in the back here. You can see that there are two little pegs right there and right there, which will peg into the underside of this backpack area. So make sure that's all pegged in nice and snug. Then you're going to see large rectangles right here. That's going to peg into this large rectangular area on the sides. And then you're going to fold what were the feet down so that you can see kind of the interior, which these are kind of made to look like seats, even though there are no humans on Cybertron. And then the last step, you can see there's a tiny little peg right in there, and that's going to peg into those gold squares that I showed you earlier very, very easily. And that just keeps the arms up out of the way. So here is the Jeep type vehicle that you're left with. I think it looks good. You can bring those accessories back in. There's actually a little spot right here where I believe this thing pegs into. Like that. And then you have tons of pegs. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different options to peg the weapons into. I kind of like to put the big one back here. And then it's up to you if you want to put... I kind of like to put the little one on one of the side pegs here. Either this one or this one over here, your preference. But I feel like that makes the most sense. But you could peg it on the side here if you want. You could bring in one of these goofy things and peg it in. Just have a gun off to the side or something like that. There's all kinds of crazy things you can do with these. I just think that's fun. I love the playability of just having a million different ports to peg stuff into. But yeah, I like the vehicle mode. Rolls decently. And overall, I feel like it's definitely got the Jeep feel without being like too much of an Earth-style Jeep. I mean, really, if you think about it, Cybertronian Jeeps don't make sense because nothing small enough can fit in here. I mean, it doesn't really fit a Titan Master. I don't have one handy, but I can kind of tell you. I mean, I guess one could maybe lay down in there. So that's true. I guess you could have a Jeep for Titan Masters or Power Masters. No, what are they called? I keep calling them Power Masters. Prime Masters. They're Power Masters. Let's be honest with ourselves. They're Power Masters. But yeah, so very cool. Love this vehicle mode. I think Hound is another fantastic figure. I will say he's a little bit lighter green in person than he's showing up on camera, but I wouldn't mind if he was even a little bit lighter still. Just feel like some of the details might pop a little bit more if he was a little bit lighter green, but overall it's not a problem. The kind of worn metal aesthetic is not too prevalent, mostly in the shins and robot mode, and the grille of the Jeep, which becomes the chest and robot mode. A lot of the other paint applications, like for the red lights and the yellow and the gold trim, all look great. The blue for the eyes is fantastic. Silver paint on the face, very nice. Silver paint on all the weapons, really nice. So I would say paint applications, definitely great. Articulation, very nice. Robot mode looks good. Vehicle mode looks good. Transformation is very fun. Not way too difficult or anything like that, so I enjoy that. Yeah, I don't really have too much to complain about the guy. His accessories are good. I don't know. I've really been enjoying the Siege line so far. I haven't had too much to complain about. It's been really fun, and I love the playability with all the different connection ports and the Battle Masters and the Micro Masters all becoming weapons and everything like that. Gives you a lot of play options. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but I think this is another home run from Hasbro. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.